Hey guys, Lemons here too. Currently doing a cube draft. This first pack has some interesting picks. It's going to be Mox Ruby, but let's look through it. Wheel of Fortune, very powerful. I wouldn't fault anyone for specking on it. Pluto Delta is, or Misty Rainforest. I'm not sure which is better. They're very equal. They're very close to equal. And then Yawgmoth's Will are all the cards that I would consider if Mox Ruby was not in the pack. But Mox Ruby is in the pack. This is a combo-heavy pack. It's got Blightsteel, which is really a combo card with Tinker. And other nonsense that puts creatures into play because you just don't cast that dude. Wheel, Yawgmoth's Will, 2 fetch lands, Brain Freeze, and High Tide are all pretty good in combo. But I'm going to pick up Mox Ruby here. And there's a Counterspell and a Tinker. Second pick. Tinker, pretty powerful. What else could we take from this pack? I mean, we could take Goblin Rabble Master because I'm in love with the card. And here's the reason I kind of like it here. Because Koth the Hammer's in this pack. And Koth may come around. There's not another red card in this pack. Koth is very committing to red. So he could possibly come around. I don't like Counterspell this early in the draft. I'd rather put someone else in blue. And Tinker, while powerful, the Blightsteel is probably not coming around, let's be honest. Maybe Mere Battlesphere does. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to take Goblin Rabble Master. It's a good proactive card. Doesn't require a lot to go right. And then I'm going to waffle over into another strategy, which is called Mono White. Because I'm going to see this back and see absolutely no red cards. I'm going to take Swords to Plowshares. Because getting the Trials has a high chance of wheeling. And obviously, unless there was a lot of white cards in this pack, I don't think anyone took anything out of it. Alright, there is a Dauntless Bodyguard, no red card, a good Remand, which is a pretty strong card. Inferno Titan's fine, but I'm going to take the Dauntless Bodyguard and try to stamp my signal into this this archetype, which is White Beatdown. And I have probably the best removal spell for it. Maybe Unexpectedly Absent can get close to Swords to Plowshares. Sometimes I actually like Unexpectedly Absent more than Swords to Plowshares in the white attack deck. We can also go Boros Attack. I like Boros Attack less, but if you're going to play Boros Attack, Goblin Rabble Master is the kind of dude you want in there because he's just very easy to cast. Only requires 1 red. And by 3, generally speaking, if you pick your mana up when you should, you're going to get a pretty decent build of it. Alright, there's a Magma Jet. There's not a good white attack card here. There is Soulfire Grandmaster, which is the only pure white card in the pack, excepting Oblivion Ring, which is not a white beatdown card. Take Savannah, just to stay open to splashing into green. Or you can take Geist of St. Traft. Blue is obviously quite open in this draft. Magma Jet's a fine card, but not an exceptionally high pickup. And then Helix is a good white-red card, but I don't want to commit too early to that. I'm going to take the Soulfire Grandmaster, even though it's a suboptimal white card for this style of deck, just because it is a white 2-drop. And then we see Mother of Runes. So this archetype is open. Chandra Flamecaller. Ugh. Whoa. Almost picked the wrong white card. Want this white card. Alright, Splinter Twin. Yeah, I just lost to that in the finals. Alright, Linvala, sure. I'm going to move you to the side. I'm not seeing a lot of good red. I saw Magma Jet, yeah. Which I don't really take as a sign. I mean, that's a fine card for a lot of different decks, and I think white is appearing more open than red is, but we'll see. I mean, Mother of Runes that late is kind of a sign, I think. I can't think of many other white cards you take over it. You don't take Geddon over Mother because there's 2 Geddons in the cube. But then again, it all depends on the drafting experience of the other folks that are drafting with us right now on like how they pick as well. Folks definitely have different pick priorities depending on their play experience, their experience with the cube. And there's 2 cards in here I want, but I'm going to take this 4-drop because this 4-drop is busted. Palace Jailer is redonkulous in this deck, and I wield this dude right here. So our deck's open. I do this deck more than I like to admit. Alright, Honor the Pure is actually a lower pickup for me than Scrap Heap Scrounger is. Because if I go into a second color, I tend to like it to be black. And getting the Trials wheeled, yep. Good 3-drop attacker there. He's basically a creature. Sure. Put you in for now, but probably sideboard you. Baneslayer is actually... I've sideboarded it in some matchups. This pack had nothing for us to wheel. I'll take the Anguish I'm making because it's more likely I try to splash black than it is white. Or, I'm sorry, red. Alright, sure. And then a Reviarch, or Revelarch, as it is. Well, we got into our archetype a little bit late, but not horribly late. I mean, I tend to draft this a lot because folks do not respect it, and it's very good. And then there's a Black Lotus, and we're going to try to wheel a Kythian, and really not much else to miss. I mean, there's a Lingering Souls. I hope the Kythian comes back, but you can't pass upon a Black Lotus. It just makes every deck better. I'm going to put Baneslayer in the sideboard. I mean, honestly, I don't think that putting a Baneslayer out turn 1 off Mox Ruby Black Lotus land is actually that good. I think you'd be better off putting a Palace Jailer out. You probably win more games that way. Okie doke, so there is a Wasteland, and there is a Remorseful Cleric. I'm going to take the Wasteland and try to wheel the Remorseful Cleric, just like I'm trying to wheel the Kythian. Based on what we saw in the first pack, it should come around. But, I mean, if we're woefully wrong, I'm willing to be wrong. But I don't feel like I'm probably going to be. All right, there is not a good white card here. Well, there is, but it's called Rishadenport, which is really a white or a red card. Not many other decks can really afford to put a Rishadenport in their deck, but our mana is pretty uniform, obviously. I mean, we would like to splash black for the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Unfortunately, the Tidehollow Sculler was taken out of one of the packs, but it would have been a later pickup for us on a wheel, so my guess would be someone just plucked it out of there. Maybe they could play it, maybe they couldn't. But I would guess they probably weren't planning on playing it because there have not been a lot of white cards picked up so far. Unless they jumped into this archetype late. Alright, again, not a great pickup, so I'm just going to take this and hate it out, I guess. Or not hate it out, but take it. Over Lotus Petal. Yeah, I'm not going to play a Lotus Petal in this deck. Alright, there is a Ravages and a Finks. What has a higher chance of wheeling? I think I'm going to take the Finks right now. Ravages, it is a card that is integral to the operation of this deck. Has a higher chance of wheeling, I think, than Finks does because it'd be played in green. And there's an Armageddon and a Ravages, and I never want more than one of those cards, even though I do really want one. But I could see it also not wheeling because someone may just want to sideboard it in against control decks. Alright, so I'm going to take Council's Judgment here, grudgingly. Skullclamp does not go in the white deck. It's really a green deck card. Spectral Procession's fine, and if we got Honor of the Pure back, I mean, it's decent, but I'm not going to pass upon just epic level removal. Alright, this pack doesn't have a lot for us. There's a Kitesail Freebooter and Dismember, and a little Bee-Booper here. Bee-Booper's fine, but I'm going to take the Dismember here because it's just very good removal. Alright, nothing here for us. Maybe someone else jumped into our deck. Sure. Tropical Island should not be going that late, so I'll take it. It's kind of odd to see a Trop that late. Alright, Kythian did wheel, so maybe there's other white card in there other than Wrath of God. So maybe someone took the... someone isn't white, but they took Wrath. So maybe they picked up the white-black card, the Tidehollow Sculler, in the last pack. We should wheel our 2/1 flyer out of this next pack, which means we should be on track for playable count. I really don't want to have to run Spear of Heliod. I think the card needs to come out of the cube. The Anthem effects should really be on creatures for this deck, not on sticks. And Spear of Heliod is a conflicted card in general. It's an Anthem, right? But it has this weird ability. It says destroy target creature that dealt damage to you this turn, which is really kind of at odds with what it's trying to do. It wants to be in a curve out deck. It kind of wants to be the last thing you cast in a curve out deck to win a game. But at the same time, it also doesn't want you to be tapping out because you're supposed to be using it to kill things. So it's really at odds with itself because in the style of deck that wants that Anthem effect, it doesn't really also want a very expensive way to kill something that already has beat you down, you know? And most creatures most decks that are trying to do that, trying to beat you down, if you're spending 3 mana to kill one of their dudes that already hit you, they don't care. They're just whatever, man. You can blow my Jackal Pup up for 3 mana. Basically, your investment of 6 mana at this point has dealt with 1 mana worth of card, and it's just not. It's not where you want to be, I don't think. I think I would change it out for Banalish Marshal. I think that would be a better card in the cube. I know it's not in marketing season right now for that card, but I think in general, because Spear of Heliod is not in that realm either. I think it's a Journey or Born to Nyx or Journey to Nyx or something like that card. All right, so someone took the Sculler, took the Wrath, but not take Disenchant. And what was the other card in this pack that was white? There was one other one. I can't remember now. We could play Lodestone. It's a lock piece. I'm going to take this just in case we want to splash black, because we have Scrounger. We could play the Una's Prowler. We'll never discard to it for value, but it's still a 3/1 flyer, which is not bad. I've played Bitter Blossom quite a few times in this deck, too. My mix tends to be white-black. I've never done white-red. I don't really care for Boros Coloration, because I feel like it's just more of the same. Sure, for now. That's a better card to have. It's an Anthem. It's better, I think, than Baneslayer for this deck. Just because you can either diversify it, make a bunch of little threats, or you can, make one massive threat. Tristani, sure. I could play Smokestack in this deck, too. It's mostly permanents, but... Well, is it? Is that true? Black Lotus is really not a permanent. It's basically just a ritual, because it doesn't stay in play. Alright, and this card came back over Spectral Procession. That's kind of curious. The white Wrath deck, whoever's building the Wrath deck probably took it. Alright, and here's an Armageddon, which is what we're going to take, and hope to wheel Winter Orb. We may. We did not wield the other Armageddon of note, so someone else is splashing white, or they just took the Armageddon because they don't want to face it. There's no other better pick. It was just the most powerful card, maybe. But the deck is coming along pretty fine. I mean, we're at basically 17 playables right now. This is going to be a 16 land deck, I think. We're hoping to get a land tax. We're hoping to get some more 1s and some more 2s and probably a couple more 3s. I mean, if we're lucky, which I don't think we will be in this draft because there's someone who's taking Wrath of Gods and stuff like that, someone who's playing Big White. It'd be nice to pick up a Gideon, ally of Zendikar, and an Elspeth, but that may or may not happen. Okay, well, I think this is a pretty clear pick. This card, Sorcerer Spyglass, has actually been kind of underwhelming for me. And it may wheel, actually. And if it doesn't, that's fine, too. The Sword of Body of Mind is also something we could consider playing. I'll pick up Recruiter. Recruiter has gone up in my estimate. I used to call it a bad Grey Ogre, because it's really slow. But the fact that it can find Palace Jailer is actually what makes it good in this deck. Once you have Palace Jailer, its value goes up a lot. It can also find Angel of Inventions, which is kind of funny because Angel of Inventions is really not a 2-1. It accounts for something like 6 or 7 power at the end of the day. But it can be found by Recruiter, which is kind of cool. What else would this deck like? A Jit would be great, but I mean, that's going to be a higher pickup if someone else is an aggro. And right now, I think there is someone else drafting aggressive red, like a mono red deck win style deck. So Jit would probably be a high pickup for them as well. We'd like some artifact disruption. We passed up on a disenchant, so I think getting access to like a Leonin Relic Warder would be good. Here we're going to take Thalia, and we probably won't wheel the Tithe. The Mana Tithe. Well, someone could take the Flooded Strand if they're in white. But if you're a big control white deck, you're probably not playing mono white. I don't know if mono white board control is a deck in this format. It probably could be. I mean, I don't know, though. There's just some cards that just don't really work with it, And it's too expensive, I think. That's like the kind of deck that would want to be running Condemn. Condemn's kind of another weirdo card in this format still. It's just, Oust got taken out. I think Oust is actually a better card than Condemn. Especially for aggressive builds, but maybe even for the non-aggressive builds. Alright, so there's a Legion's Landing at a Mishra's Factory. The factory is going to get taken by the red drafter, right? The Legion's Landing may wheel. I really kind of want it. I'm at 21 right now, 19 technically with 2 lands. I'm going to pick the land up and hope to wheel the Legion's Landing. Let's just do the quick count. Tundra is going to get taken. I mean, maybe Storm is just wide open. There's Tendrils, Desperate Ritual. Bribery is really too good to be going this late. I'm going to bank on it coming around. It's a pretty innocuous-looking card. Maybe no one else wants to try it. But I think Factory is worth it there. I mean, it's worth the risk, I think. All right, Silverblade Paladin is a great pickup. I don't think we're going to... We may have, one Swamp in the deck, but probably not. We'll probably just have Scrappy Scrounger for no value. Windswept Teeth would allow us to pick up a dual land, like a Scrub Land or a Godless Shrine, but our chances of getting that are pretty low. Now watch, next back we're going to see one and be like, bleh, why? But then there's the opportunity to wheel that fetch land as well as the Flooded Strand, possibly out of the 1-pack. Alright, this pack has Hero Bladehold, which is what we're going to take because we did not get the top-end Planeswalkers. That's okay, though. It's certainly not Condemned. I was just kind of talking about how I don't think that card's very good in this deck. Leonin Relic Warder, great pickup. Good early interaction. Just beats down. We have Selfless Spirit and Remorseful Cleric, which is nice because right now, one of the issues this deck's going to run into is it doesn't have a ton of I guess it has Mother of Runes for evasion. It has Selfless Spirit, Remorseful Cleric. Yeah, we're kind of beating him through mass is how we're doing it. We have a lot of removal, which is kind of nice too. All right, this is a pretty clear Bramaz. Kroll Mox. This deck would love to play a Mox Diamond. Parallax Wave is a great sideboard card. Parallax Wave is actually really an aggro card. It is not a control card. It's an aggro card. You dump it, you suck up 3 dudes, or the dudes that you need to take off the board to attack profitably, and then you attack profitably. Winter Orb did come around, and I'll probably play it in this deck. Puts us to 27 -3. Actually, we're on par for land count. We want a Sword or a Sorcerer's Spyglass. Honestly, I think I don't have a Revoker, but I think I'm going to take Sword of Body in mind here. Mana Tithe is also great. Just early interaction. Legion's Landing, great. Wield it. That was when I was a little nervous, and I wasn't quite sure if we'd wheel it or not. What do we want to cut? So we have Swords, Dismember, and Council's Judgment for removal. No Banisher Priest. We have Palace Jailer for removal, too. I don't honestly know what we cut. I forgot we had Black Lotus in this deck, too. That just makes the deck so much better. Sure. Suppose there's a world in which we may want Elspeth Sun's Champion. Banishing Light's not a bad pickup either. Alright, so this deck has good removal. it's not a horrible build. It's lacking some planeswalkers at the top end. Like I really like having Elsbeth and Gideon at the top end. Let's add basics right now. I'm just probably not going to try to get value off that. That's a 14 lander. Cut one of these forests. Come on. I know I've got a Finks in there, but let's be realistic here. Dismember is really a 1. Do we need Winter Orb? Maybe we'll sideboard Winter Orb. Because I think we are a 16 land deck, and maybe Angel of Invention can go to the board for now. And then we'll go up to 2 lands. This is 40. This is 16 lander. No land tax, but Geddon. 16 lands seems appropriate to me. Plus a Lotus, plus a Ruby. Yep, I think this is our deck, guys. I think this is our deck. Soulfire is a weaker 2, but it's a 2 nonetheless. We're playing against Jake8907. Alright, good luck, Jake. Yeah, this is a pretty easy keep. It wants to hit lands. Gonna land a Thalia turn 1, because I basically just have creatures. Alright, they have Ancestral, cool. Well, hopefully Thalia does a number on them. Hopefully they discard here. You have a Fatal Push. Okay, 2 mana Brainstorm, which means they're discarding this turn, which is good for me. Alright, no land is kind of upsetting. So what I'm going to do here is just put down the thing that attacks the best. And get in there. Land. Oh, deck. At a minimum, we do have a Swords to Plowshares for like a Grave Titan or some big nonsense. Alright, Hostage Taker. Casting what? Thalia? Okay. I'm going to cast out the least mana efficient dude here and say go. Okay, Scarab God. Okay. Oop, can't do that. Get in there, buddy. Counterspell. Alright, cool. This thing. Okay. and pretty much go. Just do whatever you got to do. Okay, Tamio tapping what? Okay, what does it kill? Him. Okay. I'm going to hold the land right now. What do you got? Grave Titan or something? Treachery, okay. Cool. They're off the top of their deck, right? Alright, what do you mize? Signet, whatever. Lands. Alright, well, if you're not going to concede, I'll go through the motions. There you go. Alright, so Winter Orb seems good against this deck. What seems not so good against this deck? Hero Bladehold seems kind of medium. The removal was fine. What else do we want here? Like, this Gideon's meh. Maybe the Soulfire is just kind of weak, but I don't like cutting creatures, especially on 15. Is Wasteland not that good? Seems okay. I mean, maybe I don't want to cut lands. Recruiter, maybe. Just cut Recruiter out. So this is still 3 mana. I mean, but it is a 2-for-1, so maybe you still want to leave it in. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, this is the Black Lotus hand, so keep. Don't get to rest turn 1. Go. This is game over. I'm going to flip this thing now. And then just kill their shackles. Yep, just game over. Winter Orb. That's why we sideboarded it in, right? Shackles looks good on paper. It's just too slow. It's really it's kind of like a sword, right? Shackles is kind of like Sword of Feast and Famine or something like that. It takes 5 mana to do. So it's really kind of slow against, like, I mean, anything is slow against a Black Lotus on turn 1. And honestly, I was really conflicted as to whether I wanted to turn 1 the silly Palace Jailer or the Beaters. And I think the Beaters was the right choice because, like, there are ways you get blown out, especially on one land. You can certainly miss. It's not likely against blue-black that you're going to miss that long on land, and you don't need a lot to really go off with that hand, but still. Yeah. Keep. Sure. That's why you run Lotus, right? The play is certainly Gideon and Mother of Runes, I think. Turn 1 Armageddon. just show him who's boss, right? just turn 1 that Geddon. Sneaky Geddon. Yeah, I forgot we had Lotus in this deck. Lotus is so dumb. God, this card is so stupid. It's even stupid just playing bad cards like white weenie cards. And they're not bad. They're just all together they're great. Like independently, they're just that kind of underwhelming, right? Like no one would say Mother of Runes is a bad Magic card, but still. Oh, I forgot to plus my Gideon. Whatever. If he gets bolted now, it's going to be really depressing. I mean, could they have Drain? Yes. Am I willing to risk it? Yes. They can't remand this, though, which is kind of a nice thing about it. They could Mana Leak it. Mana Drain's the only one I don't really want them to do because it brings them to 4 mana next turn. I mean, they're thinking about remanding it just for value to draw. Alright, they have Counterspell. Cool, you countered it. Well, they don't have Burn in hand. If they did, they would have killed the Gideon because I effed up and did not plus it my first time I had it. Or the first turn I had it. Alright, Wrath of God. Or Moat. Wow. That's a hell of a card. Well, I rip. Force of Will. Force of Will would do it. You know what? There's no gut shot, so for funds. Mother of Runes, 1 point. That's gotta be funny. Come on. I also ripped like a champion there. I was like, well, oh, oops. Oopsies. Again, Winter Orb seems great. They're playing Moat main deck. I have Council's Judgment, Relic Warder for that. I have Mana Tithe to get that. My deck seems pretty suited to beat up on them. Gotta fade that turn 1 Lotus, bro. So stupid. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Again. Dismember. Sure. I think Winter Orb's going to do more work in this match than Dismember. But I didn't see all their attacks, so I mean, they could have more. Could also bring on a Lodestone Golem just to like bone them out on spells later on. I mean, Banishing Light's also a consideration. Remember running Thalia. Like, I'd rather just goozle the hell out of their mana. Lucky turn 1 Lotus. Mother attacks. Bop! Take it. Hey, Mother was the first one to start that fight. She was the last one to finish it too. Yeah, you can't say no to this hand. I mean, this hand's slow, but it's a keeper. The thing that this hand needs to be leery of is Moat. Because well, I guess I had Palace Jailer. Eat a Tithe. Honestly, I just tied there because I know my mana is going to be tied up regardless. I could leave it up on turn 3 and into 4, But then it's going to become painfully obvious my opponent will play around it. Alright. Recruiter of the Guard. You want to counter him? Oh, okay. Well, I got a bad news story for that guy. If we can get this Palace Jailer off, I'll probably just hardcast the hero next turn and wait on Jailer. Just because I'd rather eat their counterspell up with the hero than I would the Jailer. So if this gets countered, whatever. They could be moating me next turn too. They have moat, they have moat. That's just that. Oh, they're not playing like they have moat. Yes, they're going to get Lyra Dawnbringer back. However, I have a plan for that. Well, basically have moat now. And we get to find a dude with the Recruiter of the Guard, which is probably going to be Relic Warder, probably. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We don't. What am I thinking? I'm going to get Recruiter of the Guard back. Alright, Winter Orb. Cool. Okay. You have a Moat. Opponent's deck does look pretty good against ours, though. I'll give them that. Like, they brought in this big-ass Angel, which is just a behemoth. I don't know what they're debating. They need to attack, but I mean, maybe they're debating what they do pre-combat. I don't know. I can't F6, because if they do Wrath, I'm going to need to... I doubt they'll Wrath here, but I'm going to need to protect my hero. Yup. Okay, steal the Monarchy. Alright, Moat. That's a problem. That is a problem. You have Counterspell? So I need to hit my Council's Judgment or my Path to Exile. Or my Swords of Plowshares. Or my Dismember. I have 3 ounce to this thing. But I mean, if they have a Counterspell, they just have a Counterspell, right? And they very well could by this point. Moat is annoying as a bug. Most folks do not play it main deck. This is actually probably the second time I've seen it. I actually played in the cube. Go ahead, my man. They're not Wrath of Godding here. So... Up to 18. I mean, the thing is I can kill in about one hit. Alright, draw a card. Hopefully not counterspell. I doubt we're going to see them tap out anyways. Tap one land. Yep. Alright, at this point we are dead, right? Yep, we'll go and concede here. Did not hit. And unfortunately they had the moat, so we couldn't race. That is unfortunate. Do we want a Banishing Light to stop that nonsense? I mean, I don't think we do. Could put in a Baneslayer Angel, but like that also kind of seems marginal. They don't have a lot of point removal. Maybe Baneslayer is worth it. We're on the play this time, though. We're a Geddon deck. We've got a Wasteland, a Rishport. We should be able to stop this. We have a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to change my deck, I don't think. I have good answers to Moat. I just didn't have it in hand there. So, I mean, we kind of got caught out, you know, and that's the thing that can happen. Yeah, this hand's fine. It's a keeper. It doesn't have Black Lotus, but we could draw it on turn 1 or turn 2. Opponent's mulliganing. Great for me. No 1-drop either, which kind of sucks, but go. Black Lotus, come on. I want you, Black Lotus. No Black Lotus. Well, I'm not going to show Rishport yet. I'm going to cast out Thalia and say go. Okay, Flame Slash. Can we get a Queller here? I'm trying to bait a Queller out. Perfect. Alright, Magma Jet. Yeah, it's fine. Eat a Tithe. Winter Orb. Go. Get locked the fuck out. There we go. Doesn't really matter when I do this. I'm going to do it now. Go. Okay. Yeah, more burn. I have the Mox, so I mean, like, I'm netting a mana every time. Or I'm not netting a mana. Every time I draw a land, I'm going to be able to play a spell. And I'm just going to continue to tap down their lands until they can blow up the orb. Now, if they blow up orb, that's pretty good. If they have a grudge, they could have a burn spell, and I'll just sack this dude, and they'll be locked down to mana anyways. Okay. 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 We'll go back to this plan. I can do this all day. Eventually, you will not draw lands, right? And I still will. Alright, can you do it on 3 lands? Up to 3 lands, possibly. Probably not. Maybe. Take damage. If you don't, alright, taking damage. Do you have like a Oblivion Ring or something for one of these things? Okay, the cat. Alright, that is lethal. Good games. Winter Orb plus Rashad Port and a Mox is pretty busted, as you can see. Okay. Yep. Yep, you got it. You killed that thing. Alright, guys. Well, we're still just 2-1. I thought that was the last match. That was a long match. Moat. Fucking Moat. Who plays Moat? Good on him. It was really good there. It owned me that second game. Almost to the first game. I got very lucky and just mised out of it, though. Well, this is not a Black Lotus hand, but it has a lot of mana disruption, and it can cast all its spells, so it's a keeper. Rofellos, I feel Rofellos coming. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, guys. Alright, that makes me feel a lot better. Mom. Attack. Okay, this is where it gets nasty. Come at me, bro. Yep, that's it. Alright, woo! Got lucky there, guys. Got lucky. Alright, so our removal was going to be very essential in this game. We may want this sword, actually. Over what? Like, Recruiter is kind of slowish. Winter Orb, maybe. Let's see more first. Let's just see more. Let's hope for a turn 1 Black Lotus. Well, a turn 1 Black Lotus's hand is not. I think this hand has a lot of ways it could go horribly wrong. I mean, it's got 1-drops to support it, but I know what I'm against, and I think this is a mulligan. Alright, this hand has got to be a keep. I'm going to bottom Kithian because I already have a 1-drop, even though Kithian's probably a better 1-drop. Go. Okay, Soul Ring. That's annoying. Okay, they probably want to keep Soul Ring. This one's going to be a lot tougher, I think. Alright, so they are 3 colors solidly. So they gain 1 back up to 20. So I want to see. The greed. Shit, guys. I really need mana next turn. YOLO 69. Alright, this thing. Attack, go. I want to flip this thing next turn. Alright, the game is probably not going to go my way now. They have way too much mana. They're going to play this dude out. They're out of lands in hand. Play this from the top. They got another land coming, which is actually a good news story for me. They do not have a lot of non-basics, and they're actually not like a mono-green deck. They're like a kind of a weird like mid-range deck, which is going to be pretty good against us. We have to attack in next turn, I think. Alright, Avenger. Yep, you got me. I'm pretty sure they don't have land in hand, but they have an extra draw. The draw doesn't matter. I'm worried about Avenger here, but I need to get a clock down, right? Gotta do it. Oh! Yeah, we're dead. I'm gonna concede to that. I'm not beating that Avenger. I knew if they hit a land, I was dead, and I had to go for it, I think. Is Orb correct? I don't know. But what I do like in this matchup, and it looks like they have less removal, is like Angel Invention and like Baneslayer. Like Baneslayer's got to be great against them, right? The sword is still fine. It's evasion for a good portion of their deck, but it's really slow. Gideon seems, this Gideon right here seems kind of marginal against them. I mean, it's a big attacker, but I'm not going to really be defending it, and they have a lot of dudes. Scrap Heap's still kind of holding the middle, right? He doesn't block, but he attacks just fine. Hero of Bladehold is also kind of another marginal card. Like, it's a good attacker. It's a lot of bodies, but it's going to die to a lot of their stuff in combat. So I'm going to sub it here. Alright, Black Lotus, come on, baby. I'm going to keep this, but reluctantly, I think. Yeah, keep. It's got a lot of control elements in it. Land go. Okay. Yep. Kind of just want to hit lands in the sand. Ooh. That's ugly. Alright, land. Land, no. They played that out of hand first. They have, what, Avenger? Probably K. Yep. K, Whisper Hood. Yep. Okay, Courser, Land, Life. Baneslayer fucking Angel, baby. Beauty of the skies. Give me some work done, baby. Yep. Alright, yep, this is going to flip, which sucks, but Wall of Roots, cool. Dead in the air. Dead in the air. Woo! White Weenie, baby. I thought that last matchup was going to be tight, but fucking Baneslayer Angel. Baneslayer. I talk a lot of shit on Baneslayer Angel, and I'm sorry, baby. I love you. Because you're fucking awesome, and you're like the beginning of creature power creep. Like, maybe not the beginning, but like, at one point, you were the Siege Rhino of creature power creep. I think Siege Rhino was like the nadir of like creature power creep. So they've gone down a little bit. Like you like Bramaz. Like there's a lot of creatures like from right around Siege Rhino time era that are just like fucking stupid. Like Bramaz is dumb. Like Goblin Rabblemaster dumb. Like just an army in a fucking can dumb. Baneslayer Angel at its time was friggin' hilariously dumb, but like it's not really that good anymore, but against decks like that, it's like pretty good because it looked like they were just like a bant, like just massive ground dudes kind of deck. And well, it was like twofold. It was Palace Jailer plus Baneslayer Angel. Like that hand just had a lot of long game in it, and they didn't have like a banishing light, and their mana looked all effed up. We blew up their one white producing land. We could probably get there, and yeah, we managed to with this White Weenie list, sideboarding in Baneslayer. Which, you know what? Like I don't know what else to take from this draft. I've done a lot of these with White Weenie. I think this is my 24th or 25th one. I don't know. 25. And I'm like around 40, like either high 30s or very low 40s in these. And over half of my wins have been with a white-based attack deck. A lot of folks say this deck's not good, and like the other half have been with like blue decks generally. Like I've had one with like a mono green deck and one with a Jund deck. Every other deck was either blue or white. like that's just how you can identify them generally. Like the one was a Jund deck, and it did surprisingly better than I thought it would do, but it had good matchups. And then, you know, I had some blue-green decks, but those are just good decks. Blue-green tends to go very well together. She ramp plus draw just works out pretty well. Plus you have counter magic, some counter magic possibly, or, you know, basically just draw. Like, just draw with threats is good, and tons of mana. But I think for me, it's like, it's really between, like, the blue decks in the white decks, which is like the old like Turbo Xerox versus Prison argument, right? Like, white is kind of the prison. It has prison elements in it. Especially if it's like white weenie, X or white weenie black, gets prison elements to it. It's got like the Tides, it's got Thalia, it's got Leonin Relic Warder. Not a white card, but kind of a white card, Phyrexian Revoker, and stuff like that. And Gideon the Trial is actually a prison card, too, against Storm, because they have to bounce him if you make an emblem, which is generally smart to do with him, because they probably won't burn him off, and they got to bounce him and then kill you through it. Pretty cool decks, these white decks are. I think they're a lot better than folks give them credit for. And we got to play some pretty sick games, actually. Like, the second game was actually a pretty contested match. We had a moat and a bunch of flyers, like a life-linking flyer. Lyra Dawnbringer. She is a friggin' beating. And then in the last match there, it's just blue-green splash white tends to be kind of like tough because they have a lot of dudes, they have a lot of mana, and they have access to card draw. But we managed to kind of force our way through it. There and probably get a little bit lucky. We didn't get the Black Lotus draw against them. We got the Lotus draw against Spicy Mayo, which, sorry buddy, that was just a savage draw. Turn 1 Brimaz, Mother of Runes, or whatever it was, or Gideon, I forget, but it was just stupid. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the matches and the draft. This is basically, I don't know if this is how you draft well, this is how you draft White Weenie. The deck's always open, so like, if you take it, you can win. I have won with a lot of these style of decks. They're very good. They're better than you'd think, just looking at them, because the independent card quality tends to be a lot lower than other cards you see in the cube, but what it comes down to is the converted mana cost of the effect and the ability of the strategy to have those effects very flexibly throughout the game and along a very efficient curve. So you're always doing something each turn, and in regular draft, that's generally enough. It's enough. That is enough. That's powerful enough in and of itself that you can win a lot of games, and it's still that way in Vintage Cube, regardless. Now, I won't say, I won't lie and say like, yeah, we'd had Lotus, which makes the deck infinitely better because you can just turn 1 people basically, or just make them concede turn 1, and if they don't, they'll just still die anyways. But that all said, I mean, the power of the deck really comes down to its curve, and if you can pick up a Lotus, yeah, pick up a Lotus too. It tends to be good in decks. All right, guys, enjoy and take care now.